Welcome to this video on TCS iON Document Manager. The Document Manager homepage appears. It is divided in two sections, that is Search and Download and Browse and Upload. In the Search and Download section, enter the keywords and click Search. The files will be displayed on basis of the file name and content of the file. Note that you can also search a specific folder by selecting the appropriate name in the folder drop-down. Next is the Browse and Upload section. The admin or user needs to choose a file from the system and upload it by selecting a specific name in the In-Folder drop-down. When you click Proceed Uploading, a File Details subsection opens up, prompting you to fill the details of the file. Enter the mandatory attribute details and click Upload. A success message appears. You will be able to view the uploaded file in the Recent Uploads section. The next tab is the Manage Files tab. Let us explore this tab in more detail. First, click Manage Files. The Manage Files tab is subdivided into following three tabs: Search and Download, Browse and Upload, and Create New Folder. Similar to the homepage description for Search and Download tab, you can enter the keywords and click Search to search a specific folder, and in the Browse and Upload tab, you can search for files by entering the relevant keywords and upload them too. Note that the Main Folders tab access gives you permission to view all the folders that you are tagged to or the folders that you have created. The next folder is Create New Folder. Enter the name and description of the folder and click Create. A success message for folder creation appears. Click OK to proceed. After the folder creation, the system will prompt you to define the file attributes for a folder. Enter the mandatory details such as label name, description, assign a data type, and whether the attribute is personal. You need to fill in the mandatory fields such as personal data type and the purpose. Then, click OK. Note that the file attributes are added here for this specific folder above common attributes mentioned for all the folders by admin in Admin tab. To specify attributes of a file, you can mention them as shown or directly navigate to the Permissions tab. After the attributes are defined and saved, the admin or the creator of the folder can give permissions to various folders. Depending on the permissions given, the user can edit the folder structure. The different types of permissions are accessible to me only, accessible to all user groups, accessible to select user groups, and accessible to all user groups with additional permissions to select user groups. If the folder is to be viewed by the folder or file creator only, click Accessible to me only. A success message appears on the screen. To grant permission to all the user groups, click Accessible to all user groups. A success message will be displayed. If there is a certain requirement to grant permission to a selected user groups, click Accessible to select user groups. A link will be auto-generated on the select word post granting permissions successfully. Click the select word. After clicking on the select link, the admin user can select the checkboxes to provide rights to manage attributes, grant permission, add file, search, update specific attributes, and allow download. Then, click Save. Click OK on the confirmation box. A success message appears. Similarly, additional permissions can be given to the user groups. To do so, click Accessible to all user groups with additional permissions to select user groups. Then, click OK on the confirmation box. A success message appears. Select the different checkboxes to provide permission to the user groups. The Main Folders displays the various folders created till date. The user can view the folders created either by sort by or filter by option. For every folder, there are three independent options provided to change the owner, edit and delete the folder or file. Search the folder by filtering out the name and update the required attributes in the folder and click Update. A folder updated success message displays on the screen. Additionally, in the Browse and Upload tab, a multiple upload option is provided to the user. First, you need to select the folder in which files are to be uploaded in bulk. Then, enter the attributes in the File Details section and click Upload. The next tab is the Explore tab, where all the folders created are available in a single view format. Click on any folder created recently. The subfolders of the main folder displays. Note that the user or admin need to click the subfolder again to view the file within the folder. Post-clicking the subfolder, the file will be displayed and can be downloaded by selecting it. To view the different attributes of a subfolder, right-click on the folder name. All the details related to the file will be displayed. To view the history, click Subfolder History. The subfolder history details will be displayed. Similarly, click Attribute History and the details will be displayed. Click the magnifying glass icon to view the different versions of the document created. The different versions of the document will be displayed. To view the attributes to a linked folder, click View Attributes. If there are any attributes linked, they will be visible here. Then, click Checkout. Note that, only after clicking Checkout, editing of the details and attributes is possible. The admin or user can now edit the details. To do so, click Edit. After editing all the required details, the user needs to click Check-in. A success message will appear on the screen. Now, the user needs to navigate back to the Explore tab home screen. When the admin or user right-clicks on the folder, various options such as Add File, View By, Link Workflow, Delink Workflow, Subscribe etc. will be visible. Let us go through these options in more detail. The Link Workflow showcases the different types of workflow that can be linked to the folders. In the Delink Workflow, if the user wants to add a new workflow, first he needs to delink that particular workflow and then link a new workflow. Further, in the Subscribe option, the user who is subscribed to a folder and clicks Add Artifacts to a particular folder, an email notification will be sent to the admin. Similarly, if someone downloads a document or performs any action on the subscribed folder, a notification will be sent to all the users. Similar to the Subscribe option, in Subscribe User Group, a user group path department is subscribed to this folder. If any action is taken on this folder, the complete user group will receive the notification. The next tab is the Preferences tab. Select the folder in which you need to set the preferences and select the attributes for the folder from the given options to view the folder details in a hierarchical manner. For example, Importance, Author and Created Date attributes are selected here, which means the App Hub folder will be sorted according to these three selected attributes. Note that the preferences defined here will be a result in sorting the files in the folder. Then, click Save. A success message appears on the screen. Further, in My Actions tab, you need to take various actions on a document such as approve, reject or delete the requests on a specific folder. The My Actions tab is divided into three major sections, that is, My Requests, My Work List, and My Action List. Let us go through these sections one by one. First, in My Requests, the pending requests by you will be displayed in this section. The user needs to take action on documents or the subfolders in the My Work List section. Under Workflow action, either approve, reject or delete the request. Finally, the My Action List displays the actions already taken by the user or supervisor on the folder. Next, the Admin tab has various sections such as Manage User, Manager User Groups, Folder Common Attributes, Manage Labels, View Space Command, Workflow Business Parameters, Configure Dynamic Workflow and Usage Reports. First, we will take a look at the Manage User section. In this section, the admin can search the user by entering valid details in the Name, User ID and Email ID tabs. The user data can also group or sort the data by selecting the drop-downs accordingly. To edit the user permissions, click on the pencil icon. Here you can grant or deny access to the user to a particular defined attribute. After editing the permissions, click Update. A success message will be displayed after editing the permissions successfully. Note that the admin can also edit the permissions to the users by selecting them and clicking on Assign Permissions. Change the permissions and click Update. Similarly, to add a user group, click Add to DMS User Group. Select the available user groups and click Update, post which a success message will be displayed. Now, the selected users are added to the user group. Further, we will take a look at the Manage User Groups tab. When the user selects the Subscribe or Unsubscribe button, The selected user groups will receive notifications and information related to the file. Single as well as multiple users can be selected and removed from the group user list. In the Manager User Group section, a new user group creation is possible. To do so, click Create. Further, we will take a look at the Folder Common Attribute section. In the Folder Common Attribute, the admin will be able to add, edit or delete the attributes in a folder. To add an attribute, click Add Attribute. The admin needs to enter details such as label name, description, data types, characteristics, whether it is personal, mandatory and so on. After entering all the details, click OK. The newly created attribute will be displayed. Note that the Folder Common Attribute set here are the attributes that will be prompted for details while creating a folder. After defining various attributes and details in the Folder Common Attribute, let us move to the Manage Labels section. This section is used for translation of the content in the files. If for any language there is a translated text, the user needs to upload a file, post which a label will be created and click Proceed Uploading. A confirmation box displays. Click OK to proceed. A success message will be displayed. Note that to download the newly created label, click on the same. The View Space Consumed section defines the storage space subscribed by the user. Displayed below is the storage utilization by each user in the form of a consumption status bar and percentage. Filter by name and sort by options are available for the admin to view the consumption. Note that by default, the maximum space consumed user will be displayed at the beginning. One of the important sections to be monitored by the admin is the workflow business parameters. The different types of workflow, levels of workflow, status of the workflow etc. are available in this section. In the Workflow Name dropdown, admin can select the workflow as Default Web Cabinet Workflow, Artifact Workflow, Content Workflow or Dynamic Workflow. The first three workflows are provided by default to any organization, and the last, that is Dynamic Workflow, is a type, where the parameters can be configured according to the business requirements. Let us go through this workflow one by one. Default Web Cabinet Workflow. The approval goes to the supervisor and whoever is tagged to user group. The supervisor will receive the request and for second level, it will go to the final authority. Artifact Workflow. Only supervisor will receive the request and take the necessary action on it. Content Workflow. It is basically a combination of the default web cabinet and artifact workflow. The default parameters in workflow are History button, Attribute History, Artifact History and Link Folder option. Depending on the selection of the buttons, the parameters will be displayed to the user tagged to take the workflow action. As you have gone through the workflow business parameters, let us now see how an admin configures the dynamic workflow. First, the user needs to select a folder, define the level and click Search. For example, select a folder and level as 2 for this folder. Then, click Edit. The Update Configuration page displays. Here you can update the configuration details. Note that for a user group levels need to be defined and for role-based, a particular role needs to be selected. You can also create an attribute condition. To do so, select the logical operator, attribute, operator, value and click Add. After defining the attribute conditions, click Update. A configuration details updated success message will be displayed. Then, click on the icon in the attribute condition to view the attributes defined. To create a new configuration, click Create and create a new workflow configuration. Finally, let us see how to fetch or view the file and folder usage reports. First, navigate to the Usage Reports section. The user needs to select a folder and the date range between which different files and folders were created. The report displays the various columns such as date, number of subfolders created, document upload count and the document download count. The number of total subfolders created is also displayed. As you have gone through the complete video, now you will be able to perform the various functions of this application as a user and an admin. Thank you for watching this video.